Hola, ¿qué tal amigos? Buenos días, buenas tardes y buenas noches. No importa la hora que sea, siempre es un gran momento para aprender español con Profesor Pablo. Welcome back, everyone. Today's lesson is the verb conocer, to know people. In Spanish, we have two verbs to know. Conocer, like I said, to know people, and saber, to know information. We're going to look at saber in our next lesson, but let's take a look here at conocer. First of all, we have the pronouns that we use with conocer. Me, te, lo, la, le, nos, los, las, and les. Lo means him and la means her in standard Latin American Spanish. Los means them, mixed group or all guys. Las would be them, all girls. But in Spain, instead of saying lo and la, they're going to use le and les, which is perfectly fine. You may hear some other people say like, le conozco, I know him or I know her. Other people will say lo conozco or la conozco. In standard Latin American Spanish, it is much more common to hear the lo and the la used than the le and the les, which is used in Spain. Okay? So those are our pronouns. We have verb number 3, the present tense of conocer. We have verb number 4, the preterite of conocer. And we have verb number 5, the imperfect of conocer. The other tenses, the future, the conditional, like I will know, I would know, we don't use them too much. So we're going to focus on the present, the preterite, and the imperfect. First of all, let's take a look at the present tense. Conozco, conoces, conoce, conocemos, conocen. It's a ZC verb, right? ZC, conozco. All right, let's look at the preterite. Conocí, conociste, conoció, conocimos, conocieron. Notice that the preterite of conocer means to meet somebody, to meet someone, whereas the imperfect of the verb conocer means to know someone. So in the past, if you want to say, oh, I met her last night, you're going to go with the preterite. If you want to say, I knew her, then you're going to go with the imperfect. Conocía is the only one listed because the other ones follow suit. Conocía, conocías, conocía, conocíamos, and conocían. Let's do some practice, just with the pronouns. I know her would be la conozco. I know him would be lo conozco. They know us, nos conocen. We know them, los conocemos or las conocemos. In Spain, they're going to choose the les conocemos. How about to meet? I met her, la conocí. I met him, lo conocí. They met us, nos conocieron. We met her, la conocimos. Now, it's common as well when you use the lo or the la at the end of the verb, after it, to use an a phrase, a personal a, in the name of the person. Like we met Mary, la conocimos a Mary. We met John, lo conocimos a John. I know your father would be lo conozco a tu papá, or just simply conozco a tu papá. How about over here? If you want to say they knew me, it would be me, put an N on this, me conocían. I knew them would be los or las conocía, depending on the gender. And then in Spain, they'd say les conocía, I knew them. Let's look at our clusters here. If you want to say that you knew a person by his or her name, you're going to use a plus the name, whether it's Maria, Susana, Louis, Felipe, whatever it may be. So if you want to say like, I met Mary at the party, would be la conocí a Mary en la fiesta. Or you could say, conocí a Mary en la fiesta. That's okay as well. If you want to say, I met your sister at the game, would be la conocí a tu hermana, right here, a tu hermana en el partido. How about al señor? I know the man, conozco al señor. I don't know the man, no conozco al señor. Could you put the lo in there if you prefer that? Lo conozco al señor is fine, or no lo conozco al señor. Let's go with a last name, Martinez. Do you know Mr. Martinez? Conoces al señor Martinez? The person says, no, I do not know Mr. Martinez. No, yo no conozco al señor Martinez. Do you know Mrs. Garcia? ¿Conoces a la señora Garcia? You'd say, sí, la conozco. Yes, I know her. Sí, la conozco. A tú. I don't know your brother. Yo no conozco a tu hermano. I know your parents. Conozco a, let's make this plural with an S, conozco a tus padres. How about su for his or her? That could also be usted, your. Let's say like she knows his friends. Ella conoce a sus amigos. I don't know her friends would be no conozco a sus amigos. A los chicos, I know the kids. Yo conozco a los chicos. Now the yo can be used just because you want to or for clarification, but when you say conozco, there's no clarification. The ZCO tells you the subject is I. Maybe for emphasis, yo conozco a los chicos, or just again, you just want to use it. Yo conozco a los chicos. How about we know the girls? Conocemos a las chicas. We don't know the girls. No conocemos a las chicas. Let's go over here, el mapa. Conocer also means to know not just people, but places and things, to be familiar with something. Are you familiar with the map? Conoces el mapa? I am not familiar with the map. No conozco el mapa. He was not familiar with the map. He didn't know the map would be this. No conocía el mapa. Do you know your way around here? Conoces por aquí? I do not know my way around here. Yo no conozco por aquí a nadie. I don't know anyone. No conozco a nadie. I didn't know anyone. You go to a party, right? No conocía a nadie. I did not meet anyone. No conocí a nadie. So again, I don't know anyone. No conozco a nadie. I did not meet anyone. No conocí a nadie. And I did not know anyone. No conocía a nadie. That a is the personal a. How about you want to say, we know everybody. Conocemos a todos. We met everybody. Conocimos a todos. We knew everyone. Conocíamos a todos. Grecia. I don't know. I'm not familiar with Greece. No conozco Grecia. Grecia es un gran país y yo quiero ir a Grecia para visitar y conocer. Esta ciudad, we don't know the city. No conocemos esta ciudad. We're not familiar with the city. No conocemos esta ciudad. El deporte. I don't know that sport. No conozco el deporte. I'm not familiar with the sport called cricket. Yo no conozco el deporte cricket. 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 Yo no conozco el cricket. Europa. Do you know Europe? ¿Conoces Europa? We know Europe. Conocemos Europa. How about down here, el sistema? I don't know the system. No conozco el sistema. How about a pilot? Are you familiar with the route? ¿Conoces la ruta? Yo no conozco la ruta. I'm not familiar with the route. Again, conocer is to know a person, a place. It could be a country. It could be a continent, right? It could be familiar with your surroundings, like around here. Be familiar with a map, right? To know the route, to know the system. Conocer, though, in the preterite means to meet a person. And conocer in the imperfect means to know a person, to know a person in the past, right? So let's try this again right here. I met her, la conocí. They met us, nos conocieron. We met them, los conocimos. I met you last year. Te conocí el año pasado. Conocer, I knew everybody. Conocía a todos. I didn't know anyone. No conocía a nadie. So it's a pretty simple concept. Conocer basically is to know people, but in addition, it's to know a place or a thing. Like, if you want to say they don't know what democracy is. No conocen la democracia. right? That would be a thing, an abstract idea. But when you think of conocer, you think of knowing people. So again, number one, you want to know how to say you know someone or you don't know someone. It's either conozco, a plus the person, or no conozco, a plus the person. So very important. If you want to say who you met, it'd be conocí a plus the person, or who you did not meet, no conocí a la persona, whoever that person might be. If you want to say who you knew in the past, it'd be conocía a plus the person. Who you didn't know in the past, no conocía a. Like I didn't know the teacher. No conocía a la maestra. Now, we said that conocer in the preterite is to meet, but let's say you work for a couple of years and one of your workmates, you never met him. You could say nunca lo conocí. I never met him. I never met her. Nunca la conocí. But you could also say, I never got to know him. Nunca lo conocí. So nunca la conocí could mean I never got to know her. Nunca lo conocí, I never got to know him. The first usage would be, I never met him. Nunca lo conocí, nunca la conocí. So there is conocer. The conjugating is simple, very basic. All these expressions here, pretty straightforward. The route, the system, Europe, sport, this city, Greece, everyone, no one, around here, and the map. Over here, again, the girls, the boys, your so-and-so, or his so-and-so, or her so-and-so, the lady. For example, I did not meet Mrs. Perez. Like last night, I went to a PTSA meeting at school. I did not meet Mrs. Perez. It'd be, no conocí a la señora Pérez. No conocí a la señora Pérez. If you want to say, I met Mr. Garcia, it would be, conocí al señor Garcia. Do you know John? ¿Conoces a Juan? Or, ¿lo conoces a Juan? Yes, I know him. Sí lo conozco. No, I don't know him. No, no lo conozco. All right, that's conocer. Pretty easy, straightforward. Our next lesson will be, I believe, saber, and we're going to look at how it, in the present tense, means to know, but we're going to find out that saber in the preterite and saber in the imperfect, kind of like conocer, they have a different meaning, the preterite from the imperfect. Okay? Okay, gracias amigos. Es todo por ahora. Una cosa más. One more thing. Mi camiseta. Aquí está Frankenstein. Aquí está the so-called bride of Frankenstein, la esposa de Frankenstein, la señora de Frankenstein, no? They never got married. Nunca se casaron. Frank loves her. Frank la quiere mucho, la ama, pero la señora no lo quiere mucho. She really doesn't care for this guy a lot. Y la película de Frankenstein y la esposa de Frankenstein es una de mis favoritas. Me gusta, es tremenda, viene de los estudios Universal de Hollywood, ¿verdad? Una gran película de horror. En la película, Frankenstein fuma. Durante la película, Frankenstein fuma y Frankenstein dice, good, smoke, good. Qué raro, ¿verdad? Es la única película, it's the only movie que yo sepa that I know, donde Frankenstein habla, where Frankenstein talks, donde habla. Okay, ya basta con Frankenstein, enough about Frankenstein. Aquí está conocer, ¿verdad? Conocer. Tengan un gran día. Hasta pronto. See you soon. Thank you.